On December 18, 2023, Nippon Steel announced a $14.9 billion all-cash agreement to acquire U.S. Steel at $55 per share. The deal includes commitments to retain U.S. Steel's Pittsburgh headquarters and honor existing union contracts. However, the United Steelworkers Union immediately opposed the deal, labeling it greedy and short-sighted. December 19th, U.S. Senators J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and Josh Hawley, rightoid pieces of shit, eternal shills for Israel, urged the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States to review the transaction, citing national security concerns. December 21st, 2023, the Biden administration signals that the proposed acquisition warrants a serious scrutiny due to U.S. Steel's critical role in national security. And I'm just like, this is fucking bullshit. This guy is doing this because this is an election year and he doesn't want to lose union support when he is very vulnerable, unfortunately, to Donald Trump's election bid. March 14th, 2024, President Biden publicly states that U.S. Steel must remain domestically owned, indicating opposition to the Nippon Steel acquisition. April 12th, U.S. Steel shareholders overwhelmingly approved the sale to Nippon Steel with more than 98% voting in favor, and I was among them. May 30th, 2024, both companies announced that they have received all necessary regulatory approvals outside the U.S. for the merger. And here's where they start making fucking mistakes. Nippon Steel on July 20th, 2024, hired former U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to assist in navigating the acquisition process. I guess at the point of July 20th, they're like, Trump's definitely gonna win. That was right about the time that they were trying to convince Joe Biden to step down and endorse Kamala Harris, and he did so, I think the day after this, actually. But this was a mistake on Nippon Steel's part because I think they assumed that because Trump worked with Mike Pompeo in his previous administration, he wouldn't have ill will toward him or something, or this might be some kind of in with Trump. It is absolutely not. Trump fucking hates that dumbass. But it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, everybody. Let's continue onward with our thesis here. August 29th, 2024, Nippon Steel pledges an additional $1.3 billion investment in U.S. Steel's facilities to address concerns and bolster support for the acquisition. September 2024, the Biden administration is reported to be close to blocking the acquisition, citing national security concerns. Oh no! Everybody sell your stock immediately! And I'm gonna buy the fucking dip, and I did. December 23rd, 2024, CFIUS concludes its review without reaching a consensus, escalating the decision to President Biden. January 3rd, President Biden issues an executive order blocking Nippon Steel's acquisition of U.S. Steel, citing national security concerns and the importance of maintaining a domestically owned steel industry. And I bought shares of U.S. Steel at $30.50, and I am never selling until they hit $55. January 6, 2025, U.S. Steel and Nippon Steel file a lawsuit against the U.S. government, alleging that the review process was politically motivated and unfair. January 11th, 2025, CFIUS extends the deadline for Nippon Steel to abandon the acquisition bid from February 2nd to June 18th, 2025, allowing time to address political and regulatory concerns, and push that date as far away from the 2024 election and inauguration as possible. February 2025, President Trump, now in office, engages in discussions with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba and Nippon Steel about alternative investment options, suggesting that Nippon might invest in U.S. Steel without acquiring a controlling stake. This is Trump's lowball offer for them. He's gonna have to sweeten it. These people are not gonna invest $15 billion to own 30% of U.S. Steel. April 7th, 2025, President Trump orders a new national security review of the proposed acquisition by CFIUS to be completed within 45 days, offering a potential path forward for the deal. And the conclusion of that review is only a few days away. Why did they do a review of this? Why are they doing another one? Are there actual U.S. national security concerns here with a foreign company owning U.S. Steel? There are several steel companies in the U.S., right? Many of them larger than U.S. Steel. U.S. Steel has been declining for some time now. Well, there are legitimate concerns because of the defense supply chain dependency. U.S. Steel is one of the few companies producing specialty steels used in defense systems like armor plate and high-strength steel for submarines, tanks, and aircraft carriers. If ownership shifted to a foreign entity, even a close ally, there could be anxiety about future control over pricing, supply prioritization, or export controls. To this end, Nippon Steel, in negotiations with Donald Trump, offered to grant the U.S. government veto power over any future production cuts in U.S.-based operations, so that they can't just fuck the military-industrial complex right up its ass. Joe Biden blocked the deal because he was worried about his election chances. Donald Trump is playing hardball with the Japanese because he wants concessions from them. He wants every possible loose end as far as national security is concerned to be wrapped up, tied up in a nice bow. And he probably wants the Japanese government to make some commitments to somewhat divesting from the Chinese. I think after the failure of his tariff gambit, as far as the Chinese were concerned, with the bond market calling his bluff, everybody sold off instead of buying in, so he couldn't say, hey, Powell, it's definitely time to lower the interest rates. No, he got fucked. He had to back down. And so instead of directly confronting China with tariffs, what they're going to try to do is make 1 billion fucking deals with 1 billion smaller countries and do a strategy of getting them to divest from China and kill China with 1,000 small cuts. Nippon Steel is going to make every concession necessary to make this deal happen. And they've already promised additional investment. And now that we're out of an election year, no one really cares what the union thinks, right? Do we really care what American workers think about being owned by the Japanese? No. It's all about what benefits the economy, what benefits the American, in scare quote, American empire. Obviously, we know it's not Americans running this. The American empire's continued hegemony is benefited by the Nippon Steel U.S. Steel deal. So they're going to do it. Nippon Steel is offering advanced technology transfer. Advanced high-strength steel for automotive and aerospace. Nippon Steel is a leader in producing AHSS used in lightweight vehicle frames, which meet both safety and fuel efficiency regulations. These steels are critical for electric vehicles, reducing vehicle weight to improve battery range. U.S. Steel, by contrast, has lagged in AHSS production and R&D. Hyper-modern blast furnace and electric arc furnace technology. Nippon Steel integrates state-of-the-art process control systems, real-time sensors, and AI optimization in its furnaces. Their EAFs, electronic arc furnaces, are among the most efficient and environmentally friendly in the world, an area where U.S. Steel is only beginning to scale up. I don't think the U.S. steel industry, and U.S. Steel specifically as a company, is going to recover just thanks to Trump's tariffs. I think relying purely on American soft power to boost the margins of this company is a fucking mistake. They absolutely need the Japanese to come in and fix their face. But like I said, I got in at $30.50. That's what most of my shares are worth. Some of them are worth 29 something. But even if this deal fails, I'm of the opinion that I'm not going to lose money, especially at that price. Tariffs are going to benefit this company, and this company is worth probably at least $36 as far as buyout offers. When the CEO of Cleveland Cliffs was talking shit and doing his lowball offer, that's what he said, high 30s. When I do another offer after this deal fails, I'm going to do high 30s or something to that effect. And everybody was selling off, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. But Japan, the fucking national security concerns, this is so stupid. Japan is one of the strongest U.S. allies. It's been a U.S. ally basically since the end of the Second World War. It has been a thrall of the U.S. empire for 80 years. And as an island archipelago with what, a $5 trillion economy, I mean, they feel they need to compete with the Chinese. The Chinese economy is now significantly larger than theirs. So they're going to have to coordinate with other economies. They're going to have to make deals with Western countries, and they're going to be somewhat adversarial to China, and they're going to play along with our interests. Trump is going to negotiate on this, get some concessions from the Japanese, and say that this is the best deal ever. This is so great for the American economy. It's so great for American workers and our national security. All the concerns have been resolved. I am the greatest deal maker ever. Look at all the jobs. We're winning, his rightoid supporters will say, as I rake in money. If Trump wants to project strength, boost American manufacturing, and counter China, this deal fits his strategy. He reversed similar positions before, for example, TikTok ban negotiations, TSMC fabs in Arizona. I think Trump is doing this second CFIUS review of the deal and getting these additional concessions so he can say, well, I fixed the deal. The deal is good now, because regardless of whether you drag it out like this or just end the deal real quick like, you're going to anger a critical ally by doing this. You're going to spook foreign investment in U.S. industry. Like, people are not going to want to invest in the United States if every time they try to do it, you say, oh no, national security concerns. We're worried you're going to fuck our military in the ass and make it so we don't have enough steel to make tanks. Like, this is stupid. This isn't just about U.S. steel. There are chilling effects of blocking this deal. They're not going to do it. This doesn't make sense to do this. Like, when the deal was proposed and the stock shot up to like high $40, I was like, okay, I'll wait for it to fall. I'll wait for the Chinese to review the deal. I'll wait for it to fall when that happens. Because at that point in Joe Biden's presidency with the ongoing trade war, the Chinese were kind of spitefully blocking some acquisitions. But no, Nippon Steel, U.S. Steel, they got all the required approvals from everyone outside of the U.S. And so the deadline now for this acquisition, after the extension granted to Nippon Steel, is June 18th. I wanted to get this video out in time, so I would hopefully look like a fucking genius in a month. But we'll see. It's too late for all of you to pick up a bunch of shares at $30.50, but it's still not too late to make a fat stack of money on this stock if the Japanese actually get to buy the company.
Hey guys, it's your good pal, Fashy Gainz with SwaziSubs.com, and I'm trying to sell you my artisanal pre-workout for the discerning, principled lift bro. It's called White Hole, and it's pretty awesome. I've been a user of Pre for about 11 years now, and I hate all that extra filler and the insane caffeine doses that these literal powder merchants try to get Gentiles to poison themselves with. So I decided to make my own. I tuned it exactly to my personal specifications, and I'm selling it to you. The recipe includes a hydration matrix that will help you sustain your electrolytes while every pore of your body is drenched in sweat. At just 150 milligrams of caffeine from green tea extract, paired with a knockout dose of alpha GPC, you won't have the shakes or jitteriness, and there's zero crash. I've maxed out the dosage on beta-alanine, and there's some nootropics in there as well. Go check out SwaziSubs.com to see everything that's in it. It's formulated to be dry scoop, so be ready for takeoff in about 10 minutes flat. So go buy it or else. SwaziSubs.com.